The Lantern in the Fog. The year was 1885. Deep in the Scottish Highlands, a young widow named Eleanor lived with her only son, James. Her husband had been lost at sea, and since then, every day felt like walking through endless fog, uncertain, lonely, and filled with longing. Eleanor ran a small inn for weary travelers, but harsh winters had left business slow, and debts were mounting. Every night she knelt by the candlelight, whispering prayers that seemed to dissolve into silence. Was God even listening? One evening, a thick fog rolled over the valley, swallowing the mountains whole. A storm was coming. Just as Eleanor was about to lock the inn's door, she noticed a dim glow approaching through the mist. A stranger, cloaked in a heavy coat, stepped forward, carrying a lantern that barely pierced the dense air. "A storm is brewing, madam," he said, his voice warm yet firm. "Might you offer a room for a traveler lost in the fog?" Eleanor hesitated. There was barely enough food left for her and James, yet something in the stranger's eyes reassured her. She nodded, leading him inside. The miracle in the night. That night, as the wind howled against the wooden walls, the stranger spoke of journeys across distant lands, of mountains and valleys, of storms that seemed endless but always passed. James, barely 6, listened in awe, his eyes wide with wonder. Then the man turned to Eleanor. "Sometimes we mistake waiting for abandonment. Just because we cannot see the way does not mean there is no way. The fog does not erase the road, it only hides it for a time." Tears welled in Eleanor's eyes. How had he known the burden she carried, the questions she never voiced aloud? That night, for the first time in years, she slept soundly. The unseen hand. By morning, the storm had passed, and so had the stranger. But on the wooden counter, where only debts had once piled up, lay a small leather pouch. Eleanor opened it, gasping, gold coins enough to pay off what she owed and start anew. Beside it, a simple note. "Your prayers were heard long before you spoke them. Keep believing, for even now, miracles unfold in ways beyond your sight." As tears spilled down her cheeks, Eleanor rushed to the window. The fog had lifted, revealing a path bathed in golden morning light. Faith does not require sight. Even in the darkest fog, the road remains. Trust in the unseen, for miracles happen not in the absence of struggle, but through it.